5, 4, 3, 2.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, family. Thank you for tuning in to Storytime with your host, Miss B, on IntellectualRadio.com. I'm going to start this morning off with the encouraging quote. Don't forget to fall in love with yourself first. In order to know how to love yourself, you have to know who God say you are, and you have to know you are lovable, and loving. Okay, we're going to start off with coffee and conversation time. Since it's Valentine's Day, it's approaching today on Coffee and Conversation. Do you believe in love at first sight? And since I have two lovely couples here today, my friends and my family from way back when
I used to steal your purses.
Yeah.
Your Louis Vuitton purses.
Marinette Christian Center in the house. So, Miss Cassandra Chubb, but I'm going to call you. Her name is Cassandra, a.k.a. Chubb. All right, Miss Chubb, do you believe in love at first sight?
Girl, no. I do believe in strong attraction. Mm-hmm. I believe in infatuation. Mm-hmm. I even believe in being bamboozled.
We know about that
I think we've all been. No. Love at first sight, I don't believe in, but I do believe that there's a strong sexual attraction or some type of attraction. We know what love is. And when you are in love with someone, it's not about self. Mm-hmm. And it's about that person. So when you first meet a person, it's really still about yourself, because you're thinking about what can I get, right? When can I get, and how can I get? You know what I'm saying? Right, so no, definitely not love at first sight.
What about you, Miss Quincy? Let's hear from a man point of view.
You know what? I agree with Chubb.
Is she a wife?
I don't
and you gotta go home. That's a long ride.
Right, exactly. But I agree with her though, because like I remember when I was a kid, I was like in about 6th grade. A young little girl had asked me, she's like, "You believe in love at first sight?" And then I said, "No." She walked off, and I ain't get what I think she was trying to talk to me at that point, but I ain't get it. You know? But I do believe that it's about, you actually getting to know somebody before you actually can say that you actually love them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can be attracted to somebody, you might really like them. Mm-hmm. Like, man, this person so and so is attractive, but when it comes down to actually loving them, I don't think so.
Would you take a bullet for somebody you just met?
Right, that's love right there.
What the world?
That's love. That's love.
What the world are you talking about?
I'm saying, when you love somebody, you'll die for that person.
That's true.
So I'm saying, when you first meet a person, you can't say, "Oh God, I'm in love" at first, because I guarantee you won't take a bullet for that person. Right. You won't lay your life down for that person.
I ain't Jesus.
You
My name ain't Jesus. My check is Rita. Come on now. Well, I went on this debate.org. Mm-hmm. I think it was 36 people. Okay, 64% said no, they don't believe in love at first sight. 36% said they do believe in love at first sight. Okay. So that's kind of big up there, because you would think like maybe 2% would say, or lower than 36. Right.
Wow.
I don't believe in love at first sight. I believe that, like Chubb said, there is an attraction there. That you have this strong attraction for one another. And someone told me recently that when you fall in love with somebody, you have to continue. It's a continuing thing. You don't just say, "Oh, I fell in love with you. I love you so much." It's a falling is that you continue to grow and love each other every single day. Right. So you have to continue to love each other. Then you can say, "Okay, I fell in love with this person," but to say, "I seen you and now I'm head over heels for you," am I gonna take a bullet for you? I'm gonna tell you, he got a gun. You need to run, because I'm already down the street. And if you want to catch up and live, you best to come on with me.
Right.
So I don't believe in love at first sight, and I know the big thing that's coming up now is Valentine's Day. And a lot of people are trying to get that love in their life, to share it with somebody. So I feel that if you do have somebody to share it with them. You know what I'm saying? If you don't, share with yourself.
Because
Because that's love.
Oh, yeah.
In the first place, you got to love yourself
Yes,
before
you
you can
do.
love somebody else. And if you don't love yourself, how you gonna love somebody else?
Tell me about it.
So you got to love yourself
Preach it
first.
now.
And now, then once you love yourself, then you can say, okay, I'm falling
I
in
agree.
love with you.
I
I'm not
agree.
that I'm in love with you. I seen you. I love you. I love you. Look
Mhm.
good. You got your muscles going on. You protruding everywhere. You that type of lust love. I got that for you. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't got that. Oh, baby, I love you so much. I can't, that love y'all got right here.
Yeah,
that.
But this
we
was
got that of thick and thin.
he ain't got no choice. How about that?
Now I pronounce you husband and wife.
It takes time for us to get there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we still growing and growing and growing.
Mhm.
So, it took a lot to get to a point to be like, okay, I really love this woman. You know what I mean? And in the beginning, it's gonna always be issues because you coming, like my wife said, I believe her mom was saying one time, which gave us some good advice, is that when you come into a marriage, you coming in with your own stuff, this person coming in with their own things. And so when you come together, it can be kind of difficult. It can be kind of, but I love her so much that I want to work through those difficult spots. She loves me so much, she wants to work through my difficult spots, and we're gonna grow together. And I had to get there mentally and physically, because with me being with my mom for so long, right? But also being a young girl, before I even grown into a man, I was somewhat of a mama's boy, because it was just me, right? It was just me and my younger brother, and it was we had no sisters, nothing like that. It was just us two, and so we was really attached to our mom as far as making sure that she was protected, was overprotective and stuff like that. So that type of love that I had to show my mom at that time, I had to bring it to my wife, because now I'm living with her. I got to be protective of her. I have to make sure that she's okay.
Right.
And so that was a learning experience for me, especially with having a mom that does so much for you all the time. And you know how it is. You just, with family, you always want to bond and stuff. And then I had to put that love and affection towards my wife and my kids and stuff like that. So they became my focal point.
It's a process.
Yeah.
It's a process. I've been married once before. And so this being my second marriage, I've learned a lot from the first go round, but then you learn a lot being married again to another person.
Right.
This is not the same man that I was married to before. So when you're loving someone, it's an action. So it's day by day by day, because I'm learning more about Quincy. I'm learning things today that I didn't know yesterday.
Right.
So it's a process. And I think when you actually love somebody, it's just like when a woman has a baby. To me, that's love at first sight.
Right.
You've never seen the baby before. You just know that you're carrying the baby. But as soon as the baby is born, you automatically just fall in love.
Right.
To me, that's love at first sight. My thing is, we are working with that continuous love, and only because of God.
Right,
I always say that God is like that cream
Different
right
form.
there in the middle.
Yeah.
We like the Oreo. He's one side of the Oreo cookie. I'm the other one. And God is the
in the
sweet
middle.
cream in the middle that
Yeah.
keeps us together. And believe it or not, if it wasn't for God, we would.
Look,
Look, I was gonna say
He does double stuff.
Yeah.
Milk that boy. Chub, no. Hey, and it ain't just the regular Oreos either. I go to all these and get them generic.
That's
my boys.
that's true.
And I know it was kind of like a learning process for you, Quincy, because knowing the Bush family, I've been knowing that family. That's
God.
like my family.
Oh my God.
So
years.
you going
Years.
into that family, that was something big for you,
Right,
because and that's a family that's tight.
Mhm.
So
Very close.
It's 100 of them. So there's a lot of them.
Right.
So, and I know that had to be just a little, not a lot of difficult, because you attended the church a couple times,
Mhm.
so we didn't even think about you.
Mhm.
She
Mhm.
didn't think about you. You were just Quincy to us.
Mhm.
Exactly.
And you know how close knit they are.
Mhm.
So to be in that and then to try to say, okay, now I want to love her by herself without all the rest of y'all.
Yes.
So, and that's difficult when you involved in a big family, because now everybody got 100 opinions to tell you about this one woman
Oh,
that
yeah.
you want to marry. And then your man, like, I'm only marrying one of y'all. Where all y'all come from? So, and love at first sight is very, I don't know where they get it from. Like Chubb say, I think a baby hits that right on the point.
Yep.
Like when I see my child was born, even though they grown as that,
Automatic love.
that was a quick love at first sight.
Yes.
You know, but when you date
And
somebody,
nothing happened to your baby.
Exactly.
You know, so
hey, come on.
Exactly.
So you know, and then when you meet somebody,
Very
like
well
you
job,
said,
too. Good, great mom. But by the way, I don't mean to interrupt.
oh, thank you.
Yeah, great mom, and then even the stuff you're doing right now is very good for them to see that example.
Hey, Crackers. Hey, Ashley.
Right, it's good to see that example coming from somebody to start their own show and doing all that stuff. Like,
Don't make me
Well,
cry.
I have to say, real talk, just to piggyback off of Quincy, I've been knowing Rita for more than 20 years.
Yeah,
More than 20 years. I was a teenager, okay? And Rita came along. And the thing is, I have always known Rita to be one, she has always been a go-getter. No lie. Rita has always had her own. She's always been strong-willed and strong-minded, even if it didn't, even if it got into trouble at times. But she's always been that go-getter. Now I have to give that to her. Rita would do one thing. She's like a Jamaican. We used to always say, Rita, you got so many jobs, girl. What can you not do? But she's a jack of all trades. I give her that. Rita, if one thing don't work, she'll bounce back and try to do something else. So I am a witness of that. I'm just not meeting her today or yesterday. I've been knowing Rita for over 20 years, and she's always been that way. So yeah.
And I've known you half of that time. Which
Yeah.
is 10 years, and I believe that the show gonna do well. You keep it up.
you.
And he just said that in the car too.
Yeah,
He just said that. He just said that.
The show gonna do very well.
Oh, baby, cry.
So yeah, that's good. This is a good subject though, with love.
Yeah.
It is.
Spreading that love.
And we have to do that, because I know you with the state and all that stuff that's going on, and right now I think this is the best time for us to keep my brother in prayer, because he's definitely part of that Trump stuff. So we definitely want to keep him uplifted. But the thing is that this is the best time to share love with anybody. It doesn't matter if they're loving first sight or your brother, your sister. It's cold outside, and we have many people out here living under the viaduct, and people that's just walking on the street. It's not even about you. It's about about others. And if you can put other people before you, believe me, God is going to bless you. It's not all about me. It's all about doing things for other people and watching other people grow.
And you know what? One thing about that is that I try to look at the bright side of a lot of things. Me and my wife, we both look at things, and we try to look at even the situation with the shutdown. We was able to look at that in a great way, because like the Bible say in Psalms chapter 30 verse 5, weeping may endure for a night.
Go ahead, baby.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we weep a little bit. You cry about the shutdown. It's hard times for some people that work for the government, even people that was getting assisted by the government. So that's hard. But then we looked at the bright side. We look at how everybody was coming together, to help. And the thing about it is, with me being firsthand, I working with the government. I was able to see handouts from people I never expected. As far as when I say handouts, I'm not talking about people just handing me money as I'm just working, but I'm saying like different food banks and pantries was just we could go up in there, show our badge, and they just give us money. I mean, give us food, groceries, and we'll put it down and write it down. So it was awesome to see that side. Sometimes we look at things and be like, man, it's so terrible, it's so bad. But then the love, as your segment is for today, that love that we was able to witness from people, that was love at first sight. I've never seen these people before.
That's a good way to look at it too, babe. That's a good way to look at it.
Before, but yet they saying, hey, I don't know you, but hey, I'm sorry for what you're going through. You guys come up here and come to this grocery store. Just yesterday, we went to a grocery store. And my wife been doing very well during this time.
God has truly been taking care of us, really.
We've been getting assisted in so many different left, right. And so we went to the grocery store, and I had my government uniform on and things of that nature. And when I showed them that, they said, hey, take $50 worth of food. You don't even have to pay for this.
Wow.
And some other people, employees that work with me.
God was in a blessing business.
Yes. And that's awesome, because
God
I know
works it out for our good. That's what
he does.
I know at the church, at our church at Victory, Pastor also gave out
awesome church.
different people that was affected as well.
Mhm.
So there are definitely people out here that's reaching out to them and trying to help you guys
Yep.
get through this hard time. And God is not going to, he take care of his own. It don't
He
matter.
does.
It just don't matter. It just rolls like that.
Mhm.
It just happens like that.
Ain't that something?
So but that's a good way of we're showing love for the next till February 14th. So, Valentine's Day.
Wow.
We just want to love on people and just show what's the true meaning of love.
Yeah.
We got to get the meaning of love back. We got to get it back in marriages. We got to get back in relationships. Not just I love you, because you can say anything with your mouth.
It's an
what's in your heart.
action.
And that's why everybody's, if you look at my body or any of my tattoos, they got hearts in them, because that's the big thing, that it deals with your heart. Your heart never lies.
Right.
So at this time, we're going to take a quick commercial and do some sponsoring. And when we come back, we're going to let Quincy tell his story about all about the money.
All for the money.
All for the money.
Coming out February 19th. It's going to be in select stores around that time. And also, Walmart is supposed to be at some point. Well, I can't really get details on that.
We know.
But it'll be online definitely February 19th, everywhere you can go and get it. So,
amen.
I'm excited about that.
Amen. So we're just going to take a quick break right now. We're just going to drop my paper on the floor. Y'all made me excited. Just want to send some shots out and sponsored by Prophet Helen is ready to help you cultivate and understand your spiritual gift. Join them at Gifts Within a Gift on February 23rd at 8220 South Ashland, Chicago, Illinois, or you can register at giftswithinagift@gmail.com. You are online we are streaming live from IntellectualRadio.com. When we come back, we're going to talk to Mr. Quincy Trent. I don't know why I want to keep calling him Tate.
I don't know why you call him Tate. I don't know why you keep calling him Tate. You call him real Tate.
Wait a minute, that must be who I'm talking. I know. Because I keep calling him Tate. I'm so excited, you guys. Well, we're back now, and now today we got our special guest here. I don't know why I want to call him Quincy Tate, but it's not. It's Quincy Trent. I remember you called me the other day. You said, Rita,
I said, Rita, who you talking about? My husband's last name is Trent. Who is Tate?
I usually get people mixed up with the first name. They call me Quentin instead of Quincy. First time I heard Tate, but Trent, I'm good with it either way. Call me anything but slow.
I don't know why I said Tate. I'm like, Quincy Tate. Then I went back and I'm like, good Lord, this man named Trent.
Hey, boo.
So we got our special guest here. We on the name. The reason it's called story. My show is called Story Time is because everybody has a story.
That's true.
And your story might be able to help somebody else with their story.
Right.
So we all know that you from the big Maywood.
Yeah. Born and raised. I love Maywood. I'm always repping. Hey, wherever I go, I always say I'm from Maywood.
He does.
Maybe the big Maywood.
Right. Absolutely.
So I just want to ask you, what inspired you to start this journey?
A film in general? Or
I guess, like when because I know I read your bio and it said that you started, in school.
Right.
So you started off in school,
yeah.
writing and doing plays and poems.
Yeah.
You wrote her some of them poems.
Yeah, I wrote her.
He wrote me a song, y'all.
Yeah, I wrote her a song. She didn't know it was about her.
I didn't.
Exactly. Go ahead.
I didn't.
Sing,
God said stay in your life. Stay in your life. Even though I do sing at work, but we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk about singing co-workers. I'm one of those.
Lord have mercy.
Well, you know what? I started off as a kid. First love was basketball. You know, every like a lot of kids from Maywood, we got a lot of pros came from basketball. Glenn Rivers, Shannon Brown, a lot of people, D Brown, a lot of people. And I grew up with those guys, D Brown and Shannon. So we all played. And that's what was my first love, playing ball. But then my English teacher was encouraging us to write, you know. And Miss King, I don't even know if she's still here. You know, that was
some years ago, huh?
Right. This was in the 90s. You know, I was going to Catholic school. Right. And she, that's why I say I don't even know if I would shout her out, but I don't know if she's still here. Hey, in the 90s, she was 90. So you know, that's a long time ago. And so I was very interested in English at that time. I was writing poems. I actually wrote a poem that got selected into a publishing. It got published in like a book and things of that nature. And that kind of started off. My God was working with me with my writing ability. Not to say like when I say writing, it's not like the best literature. Sometimes Chubb like to look at my scripts and stuff, and she'll be like, "Babe, you ain't supposed to say that. You ain't supposed to say this. That's not where that go." So I'm not saying like that, but I'm just saying an overall imagination for putting things on the big screen. I feel like that's my calling. You know, that's one of my callings. You know, and so that started off at my granddad's house when I was living there for some years. I'll be in the living room, and I remember one particular time just sitting in the, like you say, story time. You know what I mean? I remember one particular time when I was just sitting in the living room and just sitting at the table. I think I got suspended for fighting or something. So I had a lot of time to think. I was in the house by myself. And so, you know, I had thought about a slavery movie, you know. I was like, I want to write a movie about slavery, but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how I was going to put it on a paper and just, because at that age, I was like 14, 15. It's like, how do you do these things? It looks impossible. Just like having a show.
Yeah. You know, writing the book.
What I'm saying? Writing the book. You wrote a book, right?
Sure did.
When I wrote my book, it was like, it was funny how God gave it to me, because I remember we had just came off a fast, and I was in praise and worship, and then the Holy Spirit was like, I want you to write a book. He said, I want you to write a book about your life.
Wow.
I said, not my life. We ain't doing that one.
We ain't going there.
We ain't doing that one, Lord. Nah. So I went back into worship, and all I could hear is write a book.
Wow.
I was like, I'm not writing that book about my life. We ain't going there.
Right, we good.
I get home, and like on Sundays, I usually chill out, take my after church nap, and watch all my shows. So this particular day wasn't nothing on TV. I was just sitting there, and I kept saying, he kept just nudging at me. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. So you can stop all that nudging, because I'm not writing the book about me. So I went in there, and I think I got so agitated at the spirit that I went in the room, and I turned the computer on, and I had an attitude.
Look at that.
And I was like, I don't even know where to start. He said, where did it start?
And
from that day on, I began to write my book.
Right.
And a lot of people read my book, and they be like, oh, you messed up. No, that's how God wanted me to put it out. I couldn't go in there, even though the publishing company proofread it and did their work.
They should have got it.
You can't take what God formed. Because when you take what he formed and gave you to write, you take away from the anointing that's in the book. So I couldn't take away, even though a lot of stuff in the book, I was like, I don't know if I want to put that in there. But he wanted me to share that, because it's not it wasn't about me.
You didn't want to take away or add to it.
And the thing was, what I went through, somebody else was going through.
Wow.
I have got so much feedback from my book that said, when I read your book, I can relate to what you went through. I can relate how you did this. Like I tell people, y'all don't know the old before I got saved reader. The fight will fight you in a heartbeat reader. When I came to
earrings come on.
That Vaseline reader. Hey. You don't know that. Now you know the Christian reader. Even when I came to Maranatha,
I was about to say, reader. I knew the in-between reader. The reader who was struggling, trying to be saved, and the one who was saying, Lord, I need help. I knew that in between reader.
Not just the reader, but hit you with that reader.
I know she probably been watching. I'm gonna tell the story. We're gonna get back to I had the biggest problem with Miss Bush. You know I love you, Mama.
I'm gonna make sure she watch this too, because this is gonna be on Facebook, Mama. Okay, go ahead.
And people always come to me, the sisters, you know, because we were close. We was knitted.
Right.
And she would be like, Rita, you can't act like that. People used to come to me and be like, Rita, you can't talk to first lady. I was like, she a woman just like I am. What that mean? I didn't give her that respect as a first lady because I looked at her like, I'm grown, you grown. You ain't finna tell me nothing. Right. And as I grew up in knowing the Lord, I began to respect her authority
and then you start to look at put her at, and you start to notice her heart.
Yeah, she has a sweetheart, but sometimes she was like,
Mama is straightforward. Right. I mean, you know what it is, and a lot of people, when you don't know her, she can be a little bit overbearing, and it's like brutally honest all the time.
She knew what we were doing.
Okay.
I'd be like, I'm not going in there because I ain't about to do all that. Because I feel like sisters, we kind of like grew up, and I was like,
we've gone through a lot of things. Rita and I have.
No, what she was doing? Yeah. Every time you see Facebook, you see some of the old pictures with all the girls. That's what we were doing. That's what we were doing. And I remember one time I just got saved, and me and one of the young ladies, I ain't gonna say her name because she might not want to say her name.
I know who you're talking about already. Go ahead.
And we were in church was over, and this is the in between reading. So I've always been in church. My grandmother, when I lived in the South, always took me to church. So somebody came and told me she said something.
Oh,
I knew
God.
She was lying.
Right.
And I hate a liar. Right. Don't be a liar. Right. Liars cannot be trusted.
God.
I must have jumped over
the
chair in the church to get to her.
You? I can't.
Yes, she did.
They were bragging me. I was gonna go for it. But I thank God I don't do those things no more. So back to you.
Right. That old Rita's gone. Thank you, Jesus.
I'll get down now. Don't get it twisted. I'm cute, but I'll get down. Right. I might do it like on John on Girlfriends when she was fighting like that. I might be out there hitting you like that, but don't get me. I'll fight now. I might be cute, but I'll fight you all right. I'll fight you with the word, though.
There you go. Yes.
With the word. I'll go somewhere and cry and then like, okay, Lord, I want to slap the
get him, God.
Lord, but right now I'm gonna give it to you, Jesus. Right. Because if I hit her, I might turn her face black and blue. So I'm gonna let you take care of that. I'm sorry, Lord. You know, but you know I will. Go ahead.
Well, that's just how it kind of started with me writing. I've been writing for about that's going on almost 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you think that this will make your story will make a difference in life, in the world? If people that looks into your story, you know, or watch your movie, what, because I don't want you to give it away, because I want people to actually go out and support them, support the movie, support his journey, because this is the first one of many more to come. Thank you. So what do you think they would get out of it? Because I know this is your film, your whole production is based on spiritual and Christian and family. So
Christian and family.
So what do you want them to take from it when they watch?
You know what? I want them to take what I really want people to see in my films is a film that is centered around integrity. And and things of that nature. And it took a while for me to get there. Even my wife helped me to grow in that area of you can't put this out, because even before we was married, she was, she looked at me a certain way when she saw a film that I had made one time, and it wasn't that godly based, it had some little things in there, and she was like, "Q, this you?" And even in extended in our marriage, she kind of helps me along, and couldn't do nothing without my wife, because man, when I tell you she always there to help me and put an input or do this and do that, even if it's from as small as going to get groceries to as big as holding the camera if I need it. She does that. So she helps me along.
You consider her as your helpmate. What God say that
absolutely
that He would give us our helpmates. Yeah. So with that, just and I hear you guys a lot about y'all marriage, right? As y'all know, mine is no longer existing, but praise God anyway. But
you good?
Yeah, I am.
You're good.
So, do you with love with your film, and this is a family-based Christian empire? do you feel you got to show love with your wife when you in the production stage so other people can see? Do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? Because a lot of people don't feel that I'm gonna do this. I'm not gonna show you how I feel about my wife. And that's one thing I can say about Apostle. He's always gave his wife clout,
right?
No matter what. Anytime he crossed the pulpit, my wife for life.
Yes, everybody knows
so
that.
he's always did that. So do you feel that that's something that you do as well, like in the production stage? Because sometimes when people get into the movies and as y'all grow and as you get to where you want to be with it, you're gonna have that. That those people coming after you. You're a handsome young man, so this ain't gonna be like, oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna try him, right, Christian or not. All women ain't saved, and all women don't believe in those values, and all women don't care about concerns with chub. You just keep holding that camera because I'm gonna come after you, me. So the thing is, in this production, because you talk a lot about her, and I believe that she holds a big value because Apostle teach that, in marriage. So,
and that's why I got a lot of that. That's why I got a lot of that from. I came from a church that my church, because I was brought up in the church at Miracle Revival Center in Maywood as well, and my pastor was Bishop Chambers. And when I came from Miracle Revival Center, my church, seeing those two was inspiration as well. I came from one church and went to another and saw the same thing. So that example never left. So when I saw Bishop Chambers and his wife, she always worked with him hand in hand. I came to Maranatha, and Apostle always worked with I call her Mama Bush. Right. So I always work with Pastor Carolyn Bush. So that was a great example. And I do the same thing. What's the difference with me and my wife is, like, I have I do film directing and I'm a producer. And so I usually do things, and then my wife tags along and just assist in every way possible. And she's a great actress. She's a great singer. So I'm able to utilize her. When this person can't do something, I can say, oh, wait, I got my wife to do it. Or I might write something with her intent, with the intent of putting her in it. And my wife can always be visible, because here's the thing. With me, that's great for accountability for my wife to be there to push off people. But in my head, I ain't got that issue.
But I'll push him off. I'll push him off.
In my head, she gonna push him off, but I don't have that issue. That's not me. Some things you have to address at the door. You have to. A lot of people put themselves in vulnerable positions because it's not love. Right. You see what I'm saying? It's not love. That's the issue right there. If a person, let me tell you something. A person might cheat on you, but do they love you? That's the question. A person might leave you. Right. Do they love you? Do they love you? They didn't. Let me tell you something. Don't ponder on that person that left you. Don't ponder on that person that cheated on you, because that wasn't love. Love gonna stick with you.
Come on,
because,
baby.
Hey, here's the thing. Me and my wife, we have issues. You think it wasn't a time? Well, maybe at times we probably thought about it at some time. Who knows? In our relationship, like, dang, man. You pout, you be upset, because we're individuals. But at the end of the day, you still see us to get together.
Amen.
We don't have time for a setback. Here's the thing. If you care enough about this person, if you care enough about your family, see, you got to understand something. I have things I live for. I have morals now. Before my wife, my integrity was shamed. Now my integrity came together because I said, wait a minute, I have to do this not only for myself, but I have to do this for her. I got to do this for my children. I got to do this for my job. Let me tell you why I say my job. My job, because people are watching me. People put a lot of
and that's a lot to do with it, because you on a bigger pedestal.
Okay.
Yep.
Not just because your wife and she's standing by you and y'all working through a journey together.
Right.
This journey now, you're in the spotlight now. Now you're in the spotlight. Because now everybody gonna say, okay, now he talked about his wife all on the show. And he's this producer now. Now where can I catch him in shame? So now your empire is beginning to grow. People go, and then now you're gonna be able to go get your story. Watch the play. They can go online and get it. And now they're gonna say, okay, so now your integrity is really is important. Now, do he really? That's what happened to Dietrich Hadd.
The enemy set him up. The enemy set it up.
Him and his wife,
set him up.
And now it's like you've been exposed.
Mhm.
And I still love Dietrich Haddon.
Right.
I still love
we
his
still
work.
love
I
it.
still got him, in my playlist.
Mhm.
But
I can
before
play some of his songs still now.
so
Oh,
the
yeah.
thing is, the
'Cause he got
anointing
some
didn't
songs
go
out.
away
Right,
from him.
right.
He just went, that's one thing I want people to understand. Just because you're a Christian, you walk as a Christian,
Right.
it does not mean you're not going to mess up. We mess up because we are human. So the thing is, now that you're building this,
Mhm.
you're being built,
Mhm.
and God is working with you.
Come on.
So now you got to prepare yourself for bigger things and a
Right.
bigger outlet, because now you sit here.
Right.
When
right,
you was
right.
just first, you was just sitting here. Now you sitting up here.
Right.
Now everybody like, okay, he talked about his wife, talked about his job, talked about his production.
Mhm.
So let's see what Quincy all about.
And
Now, here's
what's
the
crazy
thing.
too?
Mhm.
The more you talk about how much you love your family, the more you talk about how much you love your wife and your husband. Not only do God hears that, but the enemy hears that as well. So therefore, he wants to test you. How much do you love your wife? How much do you love your husband? How much do you love your family? Because doing those things will end up separating the family. I've been there. I've done that. Well, can I say I've been through it? So I know how the enemy comes in to kill, steal, and destroy. And of course, he's about destroying families. So the more my husband talks about me and how I'm, his helpmeet. Not only do I help out, but I'm also in a lot of his plays. I'm in his movies. I'm on set, and somebody gave him words of advice, and it was very wise. My mother-in-law, she said, Quincy, when you and Chubb get married, make sure that you take her everywhere you go. And it's not just because I need to watch him, because I trust my husband, but it's just the fact of accountability. My husband has always said that to me, babe, you need somebody to hold you accountable. And I used to be like, I don't need nobody to watch me. I mean, I'm like, I don't need nobody to watch me. I'm good. But now that I'm older and wiser, I understand that you need to be held accountable for your actions. And with that being said, the enemy will test. The enemy will send people just to discourage you, to mess you up, and then walk away, not even thinking about you or your wife or your family. But I have to say, I have a trusting husband.
Oh yeah.
He can trust me. This is my last stop. Like I say, I've been married before. I've been in a horrible relationship for 8 years.
Give up on love.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
See, here's the thing.
don't.
Time, and
Don't.
if that don't work, I'm finished.
Well,
with
look here. Don't even worry about it. Here's
I
the
ain't
thing
gonna worry
about it.
about it.
Here's the thing about it, Rita. And see, what God has for you is for you. Now, here's the thing.
Yes.
Here's the problem with love. Here's the thing about with love. This is what we have to understand. And what I understand is, where is your first love? It ain't even about love at first sight. Let me just redirect for a minute, because you can be love at first sight. That's the issue.
Right.
The problem is people got love at first sight. So they loving only what they see. Here's the thing. I got to look at my wife like I'm blind. I tell my wife in a minute, and I say this automatically. She knows she's beautiful by looking in the mirror. I didn't marry her for that. I love my wife for who she is in Christ.
Right.
Understand what I'm saying?
I got you.
And so because of that, and because of my love for God, see, like I don't know if it was Apostle that says this or my old pastor. I get them confused sometimes because they got similar theology.
Yes.
They preach the
teach
same
alike.
and teach about Christ the same way to me.
Right.
And so one of them said that you can't tempt a person with a cigarette that don't smoke.
Right.
Okay, so you can't. That's not my area of temptation.
Right.
You can't come at me with no female.
Right. Because that's not your temptation.
Look, you can't come at me with no female, because I turn women off when it's time for me to think about my wife.
Right.
See, here's the issue. You got to think of bigger things. You not only destroy. See, I got 3 boys at home and a younger girl. You got Amber, Tony, Brighton, and Balin.
Right.
I have to be an example for them. Right. For example, right. I got to be examples for them as far as being faithful no matter what you go through.
Right.
You have to be faithful. See, we got to understand something, and I'm already preaching, but hold on real quick.
I knew it was coming.
When it comes down to love, we have to.
Offer for you today.
Right. I'll take you the rain check. We're gonna do it. Look here. Let me explain something. The thing about it is, when it comes down to loving, okay, we say we love God, but do we really? Do we really love God? But then here's the thing: do we love our family too? Like, I love my children. I don't want to see them hurt.
Right.
I don't want to see my wife begging another man because I messed up.
Right. That's
You see what I'm saying?
when the cheating come in.
That's when the cheating come in.
Because the women are not happy. And I wish our brothers and I'm gonna say our males.
Yeah.
you start off with this whole showing me your affection,
Mhm.
how you feel, what you want,
Mhm.
and what you desire.
Right.
Putting your best foot forward.
But when you get
Mhm.
in it, and it goes back to falling
Right.
in love,
Yep.
Mhm.
you stop falling in love with that person.
Mm.
You stop doing what you used to do. You stop taking her out. You stop showing her that she's special
Mhm.
in your eyes.
Right.
So
right,
that's when they don't have that no more.
right.
That's when that separation begins to start.
Don't it?
And then so when you ready for when that woman wants it,
Mhm.
you're not giving it.
Right.
You're
right,
not
right.
giving her that love. So you're not falling in love with her anymore.
They lose the
So-
dating aspect before you actually start to fall for a person, getting to know that person. You date them.
Mm.
You date them. You take time out. You talk. You listen. You do certain things,
Mhm.
and that's what actually attracts you even more to this person. First, it's
Right.
the looks. Let's just
Right.
keep it real, because you don't know this
Mhm.
person.
Right.
Then after that, it's your intellect.
Hmm.
How much do you have to say? Do we have anything in common?
Mhm.
Come
This
on.
and that. So when you get married, I think a lot of people get comfortable,
Mhm.
and then they just say, "Hey, I'm married to you." It is what it is.
Yeah.
Instead of actually taking the time out to continue to get to know that person,
Right,
you
right.
have to date. You have to talk, laugh, joke, play.
Like,
These
yeah.
things keep it going.
Yes,
It
yes,
keeps it going and that's
But
how you start to lose
why I
interest.
don't understand that because I was doing all that plus some.
Now, how
but
you doing though? Let me just go. Now, how is your healing process? Are you healing? Are you?
You know what? From where I was
Okay.
last year,
It could
I
be.
thank God that I'm not in that spot anymore.
Okay.
It was a dark place.
It was
Very,
a dark
very,
place.
very dark place.
Okay.
It took me a long time to come out of. Almost a year.
It took almost a year.
Almost a
Gotcha.
year. So right now, I'm in a place where I could literally talk about it.
Okay.
At first
yeah.
I couldn't talk about it.
That's a
without
good place to be
crying.
in.
Without
Yep.
crying.
I've been, I give shouts out to my girl Alta. I mean, she had my, and all of my other friends that's reached out
Mhm.
and kind of encouraged me through it. And,
Right.
I had people praying for me.
Mhm.
I had, it was at a point where I was like, go home, go to work, go home, go to work, cry, go home, go to work, cry, go home. I said, Lord, if I don't stop crying, I ain't gonna have no more tears in my tear duct. But,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
a real, real, real dark place. Today, I still don't understand why, how,
Mhm.
because everything that you
And it's
saying,
official now, right, y'all?
yeah, and everything you were saying,
Mhm.
I did.
Mm.
I did. So it became a question to God.
That's what God got something better for you, Rita.
But you know
It's
what? The
something better.
thing about it, Rita, is that you still here.
Yeah.
See, and that's
Something
another thing.
better.
We go back to that weeping.
Yeah.
We go back to that weeping
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
With joy come in the morning.
Yeah.
So that's what a lot of couples, a lot of husbands and wives, they don't know how to deal with that thing.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to continue on in loving. The question is this: will I love my child continually,
Right.
whether they play with me,
Right.
whether they take me out to the kiddie land, whether I take
Right.
them out to kiddie land,
Whether they
Great
disappoint
America,
you.
whether they
Right.
got Christmas tree gifts or not, they gonna still love me, and
Yeah.
I'm gonna still love them.
Right.
They didn't
I
give
guess
me
that goes back to God. No matter what we do, if we
Right.
leave or we come back, He still loves
And why
us.
can't
Right.
we love our
Exactly.
spouses the same
Same
way?
They don't.
But my big scripture
Mm.
that I live by, when you marry anybody or you with that person,
Mhm.
He said, love unconditional.
Mm.
Unconditional
Unconditional.
love is an ongoing, all the time love.
Wow.
He loves you all the time. Love. Christ said, love Christ as Christ loved the church.
Mhm.
So if that's that type of love,
Mhm.
what's the problem?
Right.
Because that's
Right.
an unconditional
Right.
love.
Exactly.
That's a love that
That's
it don't
what it
matter
is.
what you do or how I act. If I go, if you're the worst husband or the worst boyfriend in the world, and I say I love you, I'm supposed to have your back 100%,
Right.
no matter what. Especially if you're my husband.
And that's what that scripture really means. Just unconditional. Just keep on loving.
Love
Right.
it. And
But
keep
loving
on
ain't
falling.
loving ain't just. It's just like when a person say repenting. They ain't just. That don't mean
One
just I'm
day.
saying I'm sorry. Right. That's turning away. And
Yeah.
loving ain't just the word saying I love you. Loving me no matter what you're going through.
Yeah.
My wife was going through something in October and November, and we had to go to the hospital, and I had, you know what I mean, and I had it when I go to the hospital or the kids go to the hospital and we got some stuff going on. That show when you really love
somebody.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna be there through thick and thin.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I go to the hospital, my wife, if I got something going on, my wife come, she's showing she love me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Taking
Let me tell you
care,
something
taking
about my
care and
wife.
being patient.
She take care of me. And see, that's the thing too. We don't last to the end. We only go, see, the race is
Right.
not given to the swift.
Mine didn't last for 8 months, but
Right.
anyway.
Right. But since that didn't last, here's what we got to do. We got to move forward,
Yeah.
press towards the mark of the high calling in
Right.
Christ Jesus, and see, because if I don't move forward with my wife, see, here's the thing. And his thing with both of us, with me, I had issues. She had issues. What was going on was that in the beginning, if you just looking at those issues and say, forget it, I'm about to give up, like yours, he don't know what he missed out on. See, you're gonna be blessed. See, the Bible say despise not small beginnings.
I know that's right.
So that was a small beginning, very small beginning. Okay, that was minute.
Yeah, right.
You know, that was some
big toe in the water, and
right,
he's like, I'm out of here.
Right, exactly. So oops, my bad on you.
Yeah,
but somebody else gonna get that.
Yeah.
Somebody else gonna get the reader that deserves what you missed out on. Right. Same with my wife. Yeah. Same thing with us. You know, she was in a relationships prior, and I was in relationships.
Right. Girl, that was a long time of headache.
There was no relationship.
Well, you know,
long time of headache.
That was just one I rebelled.
Right. Well, I'm talking about in general, like myself too, relationships. But when you look back and you sometimes you gotta take a look back just to glance.
Yes.
Look back and see, but you don't want to be like Lot's wife. See, Lot's wife looked back with the intent to stay in there.
Yeah.
But she didn't have the intent of just taking a look glance. Let me look and just say, okay, I'm going from this. Yeah. See, you got to look back just to see what you're missing out on because it's a mess.
Yeah.
But see, with my wife, I look back at the mess that was Sodom and Gomorrah, all them females that was down in me, that little small, minute stuff like you talking about that he was, she was, they was all Sodom and Gomorrah. Yeah. You can't look back at it because then you get caught up in it. Yeah, so I gotta look forward. Then that way I'm gonna go to my destiny, which was my wife. My wife looked forward, then she saw me. Yeah. See, I used to tell people even before, and I'm about to close on that. I take the offering. Hey, you gonna have to cash at me, y'all. That's on here watching from Facebook, and I'm gonna have Wanda B. She over there in the corner. Look, you gonna give up your offering too. I'm gonna have a plate. We got that going on. I got Chase. What's that, Zelle? So look. The thing about it is, sometimes we give up, and he gave up. We give up before we see what's around the corner.
Right.
Your faith and your destiny and your blessings are around the corner. But right when we get to the house before the corner, we say, I've been walking for so long. This journey is taking a lot out of me. I can't do it no more. Let me turn around. But the race is not given to swift. It's given to those who endure to the end.
All right now.
See what I'm saying, Rita?
He preaching now, y'all. I'm gonna have to cut him off because he's trying to start a whole church service over here on story time. That's all right because it was nothing but encouraging for me. So I definitely appreciate it.
I know that's right.
You encouraging us.
Yeah.
My wife, you encouraging me and her. I thank God for this woman. And see, I had to learn that from Apostle. Let me get you back to your show. But I had to learn that. From Apostle though. Apostle on another level. I tell people that all the time.
I know. You know what? Tell me.
Right.
That's my daddy. I don't care if I go to church down south around the corner. That's always gonna be my daddy. At the end of the day. Go ahead, Rita. So now because we're gonna have to wrap up in a little bit. What are your plans for the future for your production?
With this major distribution deal that we did get, it's a new start for us. So we looking at it being great. We did get an Atlanta deal, but that don't stop right there. We got other movies that we're planning on doing. We want to really get to a position of making a bigger platform for our church film with Maranatha. We're trying to develop new actors and actresses because one thing Apostle sticks to, and I'm starting to see that vision more and more. God had to place me into that vision, and I'm starting to see where he goes with. We want to hire people and have people aboard that are founded, and you know about this, having a foundation background in Christ. You don't just want to pull anybody and say, "Oh, I love the Lord," and then you find out that they just got everything going on that ain't got nothing to do with the Lord. Right. Why put them in our blessings that God has for us? Because the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the righteous, for the just. Right. So it's stored up for us, and so I plan on making Red on Black Films, which is my company. My wife does an awesome job.
Tell people about your company. Tell them where they can purchase the play, or they can purchase movie, or when are we gonna see another one? I know sometimes when we got that one, we want to stick to it, just like you want to make that one flourish far as we can. So, but when can we expect the next play, and when can we tell them where they can purchase how they can get it,
Right.
and where they can purchase it at, and
Well, just definitely look me up on, if you on Reader page, I'm looking for some people to add me, and look up Quincy Trent on Facebook. That's where I do right now as far as social media, and I can tell you how to get to it. Add me and make me a friend, and you'll follow me and find all of the stuff that we got going on. We got the movie coming out, but that don't stop right there. Like I was saying, we got new movies coming out, so I'm looking for new actresses,
ideas,
not just in Chicago, but whomever. We'll get you here to do what we need to do to make a great movie, positive movie. My main thing with Red on Black films, Red on Black means
Tell 'em what it mean, baby.
His blood covered my dirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you hear black in there. You thought it had something to do with your last name.
right.
He was like, wait a minute, he didn't put my name in here. I'm definitely gonna have him on the show. Right. And so of course you get a comp ticket because you first of the media.
Yeah,
you know, that's
then I'm gonna have to put y'all out there on this.
Right. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Where is that? Definitely keep me involved.
Absolutely.
So I can definitely sponsor that on story time so people can definitely get their play. You heard Quincy Trent here.
Yes.
You the first person that heard him.
Yes.
You already told you something coming out.
Yeah.
Don't be hard-headed.
Right.
Go get a ticket when he say get a ticket.
Right.
I believe you would truly be blessed because I have definitely seen Marinette work, and by him being on the Marinette, I know without a shadow of doubt that it's going to be awesome.
Yes.
I really know that.
Thank you.
So we definitely want you guys to go out, support them, support their family, keep them in prayer.
Keep us in prayer.
With that whole Trump crazy stuff.
And I reiterate, it's family based.
Right.
Yes.
Everything is family movies, and I always say that because we get so tired of going to the show and seeing things with it cursing and all this. It's family oriented. So you can bring your kids, your aunts, your uncles, and you'll be blessed as a whole.
So, so we definitely want to thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Guys.
Hope you enjoy the gift we brought.
I do. I asked her, was it frozen? Because she don't drink juice.
There you go. Unless it's frozen.
Yeah, that's a long time coming thing. But again, I want to thank you guys for joining us on Story Time.
Thank you for having us, Rita.
This is Quincy Trent, not Tate. Quincy Trent and his lovely wife, Cassandra.
Chris Chandra Chubb.
AKA Chubb. We'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. You are listening to Rita, the host, Miss B, on IntellectualRadio.com. We will see you guys in 2 weeks when we have another special guest coming out. Mr. Cox gonna come in and tell us about his story, his book, and he is family based too.
Oh wow!
We're gonna talk to him about love again.
All right.
Have a good Saturday. Love you.
Bye.
Well, good day. All right.